Hi, my name is John Paul Raj, and I'm on a mission to make the learning of math fun. So, if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing. On this video, we're going to talk about how to use the TI Spice CX2 to do some random stuff. I mean it, I really mean it, random stuff. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to use the CAS version of the TI Spice CX2 because why not? CAS, exploration, simulation, why not? But if you have a non-CAS version, all the features that I'm going to show you today is going to be possible even on a non-CAS version. So without further delay, let's add a calculator page. And if I want, let's say, two random numbers, hit enter, the calculator is going to generate any two random numbers. This is great when you're trying to do any kind of study, investigation, and you have an electronic device just like that to give you random numbers. But you need to be careful first to seed the calculator. Seed means that, because something like this, if you do not seed the calculator, if two different calculators, two new calculators are purchased, it is possible that when you hit random 2 or 3, if your teacher in class says, okay, she's divided and there's some activity going on, and suddenly you realize that 7 different people are getting the same random numbers again and again and again, that means the calculator was not seeded. All right. So seeding actually means that you're giving it a certain number, and from that number onwards, the calculator is going to go random. All right. So how to seed is, first you have to hit random seed and then put in some 3-4 digit number. I'm just going to put the 4-digit number of my phone number. You enter your own phone number, okay? And then when it says done, that means now the calculator has been seeded and now it will be truly random. Now, how do we use this fabulous feature of randomly generating numbers, integers in simulations? Something as simple and basic like tossing a coin. Let's take a look at that. So first, what you're going to do is that we're going to enter a list and spreadsheet page, all right? And on the first column, I'm just going to call this coin 1, tossing 1 coin. And the second column, I'm going to call it coin 2. You can have 3 coins if you want to, 4 coins, 10 coins. And this is the power of using technology for simulations and investigations, where you don't have to literally toss the coin. Like, let's say each coin we wanted to toss 1,000 times. You can't really do that, right? I mean, we can do that if you have so much time, but the calculator will just do for you just like that. What we're going to do is that we're going to assign 0 as heads and 1 as tails, and these are integers, unlike the random numbers here. Okay, those are real numbers coming through, and so we want integers. So the syntax is slightly different for random integers. The second row where it says equal to is where you enter a particular formula for any cell, just like in Microsoft Excel or any other spreadsheet. Okay, so when you're there, you can hit equal to, and then you can go to menu, and under data, you've got these 3 fantastic options. I would like you to go and explore random, list math, list operations. Let's see how many we can cover today. So I'm going to go and pick random integer, that's rand int. And so we say we want between 0 and 1, and we want something like 1,000 trials. Okay, so that's the syntax. Random integers between the lower bound and the upper bound, between what 2 integers you're looking for and how many such numbers you want. We want 1,000 trials, simulating 1,000 tosses of the coin. And when I hit enter, I get all those numbers. So 1 refers to tail, and then head, and so on and so forth. Let's do the same thing for the second coin. Equal to, go to menu, data, let's go back, random integer, again 0, 1, and 1,000, because we are interested in 1,000 tosses of that second coin also. And there we go. There we've got a random list there. Now what we can do is that we can say, let's say we're looking for the total of tails, okay, total number of tails that we got from both coin tosses. You can use formulae just as you use for any spreadsheet. And so you can just say equal to A plus B, which will add up, corresponding cells of column A and column B. And just like that, you've got the total there. Now, what do we do with this data? Depending upon what you're looking to investigate. What we can do right now is that we can go and add a graph. So I'm going to go and say data, quick graph of all these totals. Let's make it categorical. Okay, the total is a number right now, so we'll make it a categorical, meaning a non-numerical data. So I'm going to force the X variable to a categorical variable. It's taking time to think. So let's do it again. And then when it becomes a categorical variable, it will take different colors. All right. So automatically it's blue, orange, and green. It looks a lot more stacked up because remember, there are 1,000 trials going on. And if we don't like that version, we can just go and change the plot type to, let's say, a bar chart. And there we have a nice bar chart, blue, That means zero number of tails, one number of tail, okay, one tail, that's the highest, and that's obvious kind of, and pretty much normal, okay, slightly, yeah, it's not quite symmetric, but it should be. But this is a nice way to simulate data. Our emphasis was more on the list and spreadsheet page, how you can simulate different kinds of activities using the random integer or any kind of random aspects of the TI-Nspire CX2. I want to show one more thing. So let me add, insert a new document while we are, insert a new problem, sorry, list and spreadsheet again. And what should I call this? Let me just call it list 1. And let's say we want to populate this list with some sequence of numbers. I can just go and say equal to SEQ is sequence. And let's say we want to enter the sequence of squares, all right? And comma variable, that's the syntax. If you can just keep your eye here, sequence n square. So it's going to enter squares of every n, starting from, let's say you want to start from 5 all the way to, let's say, too large. I don't want to go too large, but these are things that the calculator can do for you when you're trying to simulate, all right? So let's say from 5 to 100, all the squares, all right? So hit enter, and there you go. That's a square of 5, that's a square of 6, so on and so forth. And then you can have another list, say, for instance, which could be as simple as adding something to the previous list. So I can just say list elements in A, add 2 to it, and it will automatically populate that for you. Or on the other hand, let's say if you had a list 3, and here you want to just multiply each term of list A by some number, and even that kind of calculation can be done on the formula sheet. And so remember that we are entering all these formulae on the formula cell where it says equal to, all right? Now, suppose you had frequency, frequency distribution. If you had frequency and you want to generate something like, what just happened here? Oh, I just entered 3 times 3. I'm sorry about that. So can you see that mistake I made? If I hit A and I hit, this operation may overwrite. Yes, you should have overwrite because I made a mistake. And there you go. That's 3 times 25, 3 times 36, so on and so forth. Okay. Suppose you had a frequency distribution and you wanted to find the cumulative frequency. Okay. So that could be another list. I'm just calling it list 4 right now. The cumulative frequency, if you go to equal to, and remember I said there are certain other features that you must explore. So when you go to list operations, so that was random. There are several other things in random binomial, normal, and the sample, random sample. We've not yet seen random sample. That's also pretty cool. But then if I go to random list, the list operations, and if I go to cumulative sum of that particular list, and whichever list has your frequency, and let's for the time being, let's just assume our frequency list was list 1. I can just hit list 1 and it will become bold because the calculator is realizing that this is in the memory. Hit enter, and that's the cumulative sum. Okay, so 25 and 25 plus 36, so on and so forth. And so if you're interested to make a cumulative frequency chart, anything to do with the cumulative frequency, you can use your data, your list and spreadsheet page, just like an Excel spreadsheet, entering formulae, using it smartly by with random integers, random samples, so on and so forth. So I would say for homework, please do explore the stuff in data. Under data, we saw these cool things on random and list operations. There's a lot more happening here. There's something called data capture. In some other video, we're going to talk about the data capture, okay? So for now, we're going to call it a day. If you have found this video helpful and useful in any way, please let me know in the comments below. I'm going to see you all in the next video.